Lorraine, and we're getting ready to start our November projects. And the first one is going to be a Christmas card. And this is not a Lorraine original. This is a cased card. I really thought it was fun. Alright, let's get started. Alright, for this card you're going to need some Whisper White. That's 5.5 by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4, and the fold is the top of your card. Alright, you're also going to need a scrap of Whisper White. That's about 1 inch by 4 inches. And then some scraps of shimmer paper. These are approximately 1 by 3, but whatever scraps you've got. And then you're going to need some mini Jingle Bells. The product is in the Holiday Mini, Stampin' Up. And you're going to need some baker's twine. That's red and white. You're going to need the stocking punch. Fun, fun, fun. Saves you time having to cut those stockings out. And you're going to need some Frostwood Lodge DSP. These are the patterns that are used in the stockings. If you're going to be doing several, 3-inch strips of that will work really good. Okay, you're going to need a stamp set. And this one is Christmas Lodge. And we're going to be using the tree and the Merry Christmas greeting. Okay, and you're going to need some Versamark ink for the embossed words and the new pewter embossing powder that's in the Holiday Mini. And you'll need some mini glue dots and some dimensionals. I don't have the packaging here, and this is kind of a cut up lot of them, but they add dimension to your project. And then you're going to need Early Espresso Stampin' Right marker and a Garden Green Stampin' Right marker. Yeah, this is our card. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is take your card and you're going to stamp on it the tree. So the tree stamp looks like this. You're going to take your Early Espresso marker, the brush tip, and you're going to color in the root system. I don't know if you can see it that good on here. And the trunk. And you're going to make some sketches of the tree center that are going to show where the trunk peeks through the pine there. Then you'll color around the roots, and if you bump into the previously colored with the espresso, don't worry about it. It will rub out of your marker, so it won't pick up in your green because you're continuing to color in your green, and it'll color right back out of the tip. And also the Early Espresso is strong enough that it will hold its own against the green being colored all around it. Okay, I'm not going to continue to do that, but you get the idea. And then you're going to stamp it on the front of your card, and this is what you'll have. So you can see how the tree trunk is defined by doing that. Okay, then we're going to add the element, make the stockings for the next part. Okay, and the stockings are of course punched from the Frostwood Lodge DSP. These are 3-inch strips, and just the stocking is all you're going to be using on that part. And then you're going to use your scraps of shimmer paper, and you're going to, this will fit into the punch just on that part to just do the cuff and the toe and heel of the stocking. And then you'll go ahead and glue those together, your stocking and your cuff, and you'll have, of course, have to punch out 3 sets of these to go with each stocking. And so you'll do that. Okay, go ahead and glue those together. Continue. I'm not going to do all of them. Okay, you got the idea. Glue those together. Oh, I should have left that out here because there's a little more detail, right? Okay, so you got the stocking glued together, and then you're going to need your baker's twine. Then you're going to need a piece of it that's probably about, I think 7 inches is what I did to tie the bow, so that you have, let me see what this is. Yeah, about 7 inches. So I like a piece of twine that's long enough that I can manipulate it easily in my hands. So lots of different methods of tying a bow. Whatever one works the best for you. So get your bow going. Okay, gotta start that one over again. That never happens to you, right? Okay, go around, pull it through, and so here's our bow, and then bring it, cinch it down, because this is a small object, you don't want a large bow on it. So cinch it back down to make your loop smaller, tighten it again, and then trim off your ends. And then you're going to attach that to the stocking with a mini glue dot, and these are very small circular glue dots, and you'll do the method that's called tacoing. You're going to fold over the circle of glue dot, and it'll have a taco shell shape to it, and then you'll put that underneath the knot here in the middle of the bow and glue it to your stocking, and that way it'll be a smaller amount of glue and less likely to be sticking to other things like your envelope or whatever. Okay, then you're going to take your mini jingle bells. I think these are so much fun. Although the little hook on the back, you have to have a needle, I think, to thread anything through that. It's really, the little hole there is very small, and you couldn't thread a thread through there, at least not my eyes, and certainly not this twine, unless you had a needle. Anyway, you can use the mini glue dot to attach your mini jingle bells. You can use a full-on dot with the size of the jingle bell, or you can taco it if you want to confine it a little bit, and you'll glue it right there on your stocking next to the bow. And you repeat that with all 3 stockings. Okay, then you're going to take another piece of twine about 5.5 inches long, the width of your card, and you're going to tie a knot in the end and a knot in the other end, and this is your line for hanging the stockings. So tie your knots, and then you're going to use a mini glue dot tacoed again. You might want your knot to be a little bigger, so you might double tie the knot to make a bigger knot. Anyway, use your tacoed mini glue dot to glue it to your card. So you have your knots, and then the string is just loose here. And then you can attach glue on your stockings, and then we will make this last bit. The person that did the original card stamped right on the card and embossed the greeting right there. I have some problems sometimes with getting it straight, so I thought, well, we'll just stamp it on a separate piece. That was our little piece here. Stamp it and emboss it. So that's where you come in with your Versamark and your stamp, and you ink it all up and stamp it on, and Versamark is clear, and then when you sprinkle on the powder, it'll certainly come to life and you'll see where you've stamped. And then you will use your heat gun to heat set the embossing powder, and it melts it and you have the wonderful shiny raised surface. It's a wonderful thing, heat embossing. Okay, then you're going to cut out around this shape the words, and then you're going to attach to the front of the card with some dimensionals to raise it up off the surface. And there you go. That was a pretty easy card, wasn't it? I hope you'll really, really enjoy that.